Today we are going to start third unit of embedded system. Course outcome for third unit is that interpret communication standards of embedded systems. So in this unit we are going to see that which communication standards are present in wired and in wireless. With reference to the third unit, it is divided in 4 parts. First part is dedicated for modes of the communication like serial mode, parallel mode, synchronous and asynchronous. As per third 3.2 is concerned, communication protocols like inter-integrated circuit, controller area network and universal serial bus. So this is covered in second part. It is dedicated for the wired communication protocol. This is also dedicated for wired communication protocol 3.3 serial peripheral interface, specifically for the electric power systems. This is the second one. So it is divided in 2 small parts. Fourth section dedicated for the wireless protocols like infrared data association, Bluetooth, Zigbee, wireless fidelity, LoRa or low PAN. So this is the scope of our third unit. We can start with the first one, modes. As per 3.1 is concerned, it is having data communication modes. 3 fundamental modes are there. One is a simplex mode, then in duplex 2 duplex are there. One is a half duplex and second one is a full duplex. So these are the data communication modes. Now one by one we will see that what is the theory behind them, how they work. As per simplex is concerned, here you can say that this is a transmitter node or sender node and this is a receiver mode, or it is a second device, device number 1, device number 2. Device number 1 act as a transmitter, device number 2 act as a receiver. So sender can transmit the data and receiver can receive the data. This kind of the system is called as a simplex system. Here the direction of the data is only one. Data cannot be transmitted from other end. This is not possible. Data transmitted only in one direction. That's why it is a unidirectional or one-way transmission is there. And only one station can perform a role of transmitter or sender, and only one station can perform a role of receiver or RX. So this node cannot be function as a transmitter, this node cannot be function as a receiver. This kind of the communication is called as an simplex communication. So what are the real-time examples? Television transmission is there. Television episodes are going to be broadcasted and we can only receive them on the television receivers. Similarly on the radios also, FM radios, it is a good example that broadcasting stations are broadcasting and we are listening on our radio receivers. One pager system was also there. Now it is obsolete. Since long the messages can be sent by the employer to their employees through the pager, and employee can only read the contents. One system is acting as an transmitter and other node can act as a receiver. So this is the simplex mode of the communication. As per half duplex is concerned, at a one time, if this is a sender or a transmitter, then it can transmit the signal. Okay, and this node can receive the signal. And in other case, this node become sender and this node become receiver in other time. So in a time sharing mode, one node can act as a transmitter. In another time slice, it can act as a receiver. So here you can say that it is a bidirectional, but it is not full bidirectional, because at one time it can transmit in one direction, at other time it can transmit in another direction likewise. That's why it is a half duplex. Each station can transmit or receive, but one time only. It is also referred to as a two-way alternate. Alternate is a word actually. Alternate, two-way. Only one example is there. Police use this walkie-talkie. So there is only one example. Application is there. Walkie-talkie is there, which comes under the half duplex. As per next is concerned in full duplex, like our telephones, mobile, you dial a phone, call has been established, you can listen also, you can talk also. So simultaneously our mobile phone can act as a transmitter, simultaneously it can receive. So if such kind of the voice communication is established between the two mobile phones, then you can say that it is a full duplex. So full duplex means two-way, means within the two-way. So which are the examples? Telephone is the example, mobile communication is the example, radar is one of the example, fax line is the example. So where each node can act as a transmitter and act as a receiver. So this node can act as a transmitter, this node can act as a receiver at the same time, this node can act as a receiver, this node can be act as a transmitter. So this is treated as a full duplex. So this is all about the modes of the communication. As per digital transmission is concerned, there are two fundamental types of transmission. Rather you transmit the data parallelly, or rather we transmit the data serially. In parallel transmission, multiple lines, multiple wires, you can say, they can play a role to transmit our data from one end to the another end. In serial transmission, it is again divided into two parts. One is asynchronous communication and second one is synchronous communication. So these are the two fundamental types: parallel transmission, serial transmission. In serial transmission, only one wire is responsible for propagation of our data signals. It is divided in asynchronous communication and synchronous communication. As per parallel transmission is concerned, if you expect this as a transmitter and this as a receiver, here you can see that this is a data 0 1 0 0 0 1 1 0. So this data, this 0 is propagated through one cable, this one is propagated through one cable, likewise this 0 is propagated through this cable, and some repeater blocks is going to be added over here. So the same 0 is going to be received over here. 0 is received, 1 is received, 0 is received, 0 is received. So each and every line is responsible for propagation of one bit at a time. So you can say that these 8 bits funneled on the bus, parallel bus, and those bits propagated from this bus from transmitter or sender to the receiver, and 8 bits can be received on the receiving side. So this way parallel transmission works. Here we can say that in generalized way n bits can be transmitted and n bits can be received simultaneously. Means n number of the wires are required to transmit n number of the bits. Obviously, when we compare it with the serial where only one wire is there, 8 wires are there. So you can say that it is 8 times much more faster as compared to the serial communication. But the advantage of serial communication that it can transmit to the longer distances. As per parallel is concerned, it is not going to transmit to the longer distances because they may raise electromagnetic interferences between these two bits, neighboring lines. That's why it is not preferable for longer distances. So this is about parallel data transmission. In serial data transmission, there is only one channel, only one cable. Only one cable is there in between transmitter and receiver. So this 0 is going to be transmitted, then 1 is going to be transmitted, then this 1 is going to be transmitted, then this 0 is going to be transmitted, likewise this 0 is going to be transmitted, one after another. So this is treated as a serial communication in between sender and receiver. So only one bit flows at a time serially. Only one channel is there. One channel means one cable or one wire, you can say, or one wire is required. Speed is less, but the cost is also less, and it is used for the long distances. It is used for long distances. So this is about the serial data transmission. Within the serial, there are again two types: asynchronous communication and synchronous communication. When you write down a message, short messaging system SMS, and you can send it, so it can send it in using asynchronous communication. When you write down an email and you send it, so that kind of the communication comes under the asynchronous communication. So in this kind of the communication, transmitter is converting our information into different types of the frames, different types of the packets, and those frames has start bit, stop bit, and that frame is going to be propagated. There is a delay in between the two frames, and because of that parameter only, this kind of the communication is considered as an asynchronous communication, because the clock of sender and clock of the receiver, clock of the transmitter and clock of the receiver are different in the nature. They operate at different frequencies. That's why this is called as an asynchronous communication. There is a gap between the two frames. Gap between the two frames. And one start bit is there. This is a start bit. This is a stop bit. This is the general communication standard. So gaps are there in asynchronous communication. So one byte is transmitted. After some gap, second byte is going to be transmitted. To maintain the synchronization, start bit and stop bit is going to be added. So this is called as a padding of the start bit and stop bit. Tag padding. Generally, start bit is 0. Generally, start bit is 0 and stop bit is 1. Generally, start bit is 0 and stop bit is 1. So this is about asynchronous communication. Data bits and control bits, when combined, known as one frame. So this frame is comprised of two parts. These two treated as a control, start bit, stop bit, and this termed as an data bits. Now the last small topic of this 3.1 is that synchronous serial data transmission. Sender and receiver both follow same clock. They follow same clock. No gap is there. No delay is there between the frame. Frame are contiguous. So continuous data is going to be transmitted. Receiver is always synchronized with the transmitter because their clock is same. Longer frames can be transmitted. To maintain the synchronization, same clock is being utilized by the sender and the transmitter. Speed is more as compared to the asynchronous, but accuracy depends on the receiver's capability. So its application is voice over internet protocol. So this is about the synchronous communication. The clock has been shown so that the same clock is being utilized by the transmitter, same clock is being utilized by the receiver. So this is all about our 3.1, that is the modes of the communication. In the next session, we are going to start the serial communication protocols, specifically inter-integrated circuit, then controller area network, and the universal serial buses.